Skincare can be super confusing nowadays, especially pagdating sa topic na dark spots. Whether yung dark spots na galing sa acne, yung mga age spots na nade-develop mo over time, or even melasma. Kasi ang dami na ring mga products sa market na may mga claims na brightening, lightening, or whitening sila, pero mapapaisip ka rin talaga alin ba talaga yung pinaka-legit or effective talaga, and alin yung hype or yung marketing lang. Well, I've been doing skincare for over 10 years already, and honestly, ang dami ko nang nasubukan na hindi naman naging effective sa dark spots ko. And after years of consulting with multiple dermatologists about my acne, and of course yung dark spots after nung acne na yon, meron din akong na-realize. Learning how to fade dark spots is actually a pretty simple and straightforward topic. And as an informed skincare consumer, you just really have to understand a few key things about the topic of dark spots, and then after that, meron ka ng solusyon agad. So in this video, I'll walk you through how dermatologists actually think and go about dark spots, and how we as informed consumers can approach them realistically and in a more practical na way. So one thing to understand about dark spots is actually yung term na dark spots is more of an umbrella term. Meaning, maraming iba't ibang types of dark spots. But medically, ang tawag ng mga dermatologists sa term na to is hyperpigmentation. So himayin natin yung word. Hyper meaning sobra-sobra, and then pigmentation coming from the root word pigment, meaning nagmark siya sa skin mo. So combining it together, basically sobra-sobrang production or accumulation ng pigment sa isang area ng skin mo. So whether yung dark spot na nagfo-form galing sa mga pimples or after ng pimples, irritation sa underarms after niyang mangate, or even yung melasma na may parang mask ka sa face, lahat yon falls under hyperpigmentation. Ang pinagkaiba lang talaga ng mga to is kung ano yung nag-cause sa kanila. But basically, this is why skincare ingredients-wise, marami mga ingredients na brightening, lightening, or whitening. Kung nagagamit mo sila sa dark spot sa face, minsan yung mga ingredients niya nagagamit mo rin sa underarms pang lighten sa kanila. And some of them can even be used in products na nakakatulong sa melasma. Pero of course, dahil iba-iba nga yung mga causes, syempre iba-iba rin yung mga dapat mong i-expect when it comes to results. So with that said, ngayon ang question is, bakit ba nangyayari or nagfo-form yung dark spot sa katawan natin? And one thing na sinabi sa akin ng dermatologist ko about our skin and dark spots na tumatak talaga sa akin is this. Ang dark spots or dark marks are actually a defense mechanism ng skin natin. Meaning, it's our skin trying to protect us from harm. So remember, na lagi sinasabi ng mga dermatologists, ang main job ng skin natin is to protect us. Yung skin kasi natin, that's the first layer of protection ng katawan natin. And when it senses damage, ang ginagawa niya is, it produces melanin or yung dark pigment as protection. So that's why after natin ma-sunburn, nangingitim tayo, or for example, gumamit ka ng deodorant na hindi kahiyang tapos sobrang kate. Di ba usually after niyang mangate, mangingitim siya? And of course, the best example for those na acne prone is kapag nagka-acne din tayo. Usually, di ba, after ng acne, sinasabi ng maraming tao na yung bigger problem is not the pimple, mas matagal pa minsan nagsistay yung dark spot. And di ba usually, yung mga nagiging dark spot pa talaga na pimples are yung mga pimple na galit and red na red siya at first. Yung parang pag pinapress mo, parang bukol na ang sakit-sakit. Di ba usually, sila talaga yung pinakamatagal na nagiging dark spot on your skin, and ang tagal bago sila mag-fade. So if you noticed, two types of damage make our skin sense danger. So the first one is sun damage, and number two, inflammation or pagmamaga ng skin natin. So if na-sense ng skin mo either na nadadamage siya whether ng araw or physically na irritate or even na injure mo yung skin mo, let's say nasugatan, kaya siya in the end nagkakaroon ng mga marks and nangingitim because it's our skin's way of protecting us. Pero syempre mapapatanong ka rin, how does our skin darkening actually protect us in any way? And yung melanin na yon na nagda-darken ng skin natin, actually meron siyang konting-konting sun protective properties. Of course, not equivalent to sunscreen yung protection niya, but it's our body's attempt to lessen yung damage na nakukuha natin. So if manonotice mo sa ibang mga countries or ibang mga lahi na exposed sila sa sun, di ba usually darker yung skin tone nila? Because basically, it's their body adapting over time, trying to protect them from the sun exposure na nakukuha nila. So ang galing no, kung iisipin mo, it's one of many ways that our body tries to protect us. Now when it comes to the topic of dark spots or hyperpigmentation, just slightly different sa explanation na kasasabi ko lang sa inyo is yung explanation ng mga dermatologists sa melasma and age spots, which are a kind of dark spots or hyperpigmentation. Yung kanina kasing inexplain ko, yung pagkatapos mo magka-acne or pagkatapos mong mamula yung underarms mo because nangati siya and namaga, that's what we call post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation or PIH. So again, himayin natin, post meaning after and then inflammation meaning namaga. So post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, after mamaga ng skin mo, doon siya siya magiging dark. Pero meron din kasing type of hyperpigmentation na kahit hindi mamaga yung skin mo, meron pa rin nagpo-form na dark pigment. And the best example for this is, di ba minsan, kunyari lalabas ka tapos sobrang maaraw. Kahit sandali ka lang na arawan, di ba, wala pa namang sunburn yung skin mo, pero na-feel mo na parang nangingitim ka na agad. Or even yung mga tao na nababad lang talaga sa araw na hindi naman na sunburn pero nangitim pa rin over time. And of course, yung best example for those na trentahe na dyan or even older, yung mga brown spots na nagsisilabasan sa iba't ibang parts ng face natin as we age. Ako personally, as someone who just turned 30, meron nang lumalabas na konting very light brown spots dito. So kasama rin yun sa mga dark spots, pero hindi siya yung mga dark spots na nagaling sa pagmamaga. Kasi hindi naman namaga yung part na to sa akin, di ba? These are all types of hyperpigmentation na sun exposure lang ang kailangan para mangyari sila. And on the topic of melasma, dermatologists also say it's the same way, na hindi naman siya nanggaling sa inflammation sa skin mo. In fact, actually, mas complex pa yung pinanggalingan niya. Na actually, another factor na diniscuss ko with Doc Bea na nakaka-contribute din siya sa melasma are yung hormones.
I guess what sets melasma apart from all the other types of hyperpigmentation is yung reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng excess melanin production. Nakalagay talaga na 50% or 1 out of 2 patients with melasma may positive family history. So, when we say positive family history, kasi pwedeng meron kang kamag-anak, it could be your mom, your tita, your lola, your pinsan, basta kamag-anak mo that has the exact same condition. And then of course, syempre tayo, as Filipinos, we get exposed to a lot of
Sun exposure, di ba?
Oo, it's summer all year round. Kaya naman talaga, we get higher UV exposure and it makes us more predisposed to develop the condition. So, tama yung environment and genetics.
Kaya usually, ang melasma talaga nangyayari siya to women. Specifically, yung iba, nagkakamelasma sila as they get older and their hormones change, or yung iba after nila maging pregnant. So, yung melasma talaga, it's a mix of a lot of different factors. But if you want to know more about melasma, ililink ko na lang din yung video dito with Doc Bea discussing more in-depth yung topic ng melasma. But basically, what I want you to remember is marami kasi talagang factors kung bakit nangyayari ang melasma or even ang hyperpigmentation in general. But yung factor na pinaka makokontrol natin is yung sun exposure natin. And that's actually a very important point sa video na to because ang number one advice ng dermatologist sa akin when it comes to hyperpigmentation is not, take note it's not na, ay ito yung best ingredient or gamitin mo to, maglalighten yung dark spots mo. Their number one advice is always, kung ano yung nagkukos na magka-dark spots ka, yun yung tanggalin mo muna before mo i-fade yung dark spots mo. Let's say if it's mga acne breakouts na sobrang namamaga, have your acne controlled with the right medications first. Or for example, it's a deodorant na nangangati yung underarms mo. Then, tanggalin mo muna, stop mo muna yung paggamit ng deodorant para hindi ka na mangati. Kasi the more nakakamutin mo siya, the more na mamamaga siya, di ba? And of course, the number one thing that we can already start doing as early as tomorrow or maybe even today is kapag maaraw, iwasan mo yung araw. Or kung hindi mo talaga siya may iwasan, kunyari maglalakad ka sa labas, at least have sun protection. Payong. Then aside from payong, pwede ka pang mag-sunscreen under it. Parang i-layer mo talaga yung protection mo para sigurado. But what if, okay, alam na natin siyang i-prevent, but what about dark spots na naandyan na? How do we treat them or fade them while at the same time, preventing na rin na bumalik sila? And spoiler alert, pwede yun gawin ng sabay. Pero para magawa mo yun, we need to first understand the 3 stages ng dark spot formation. So ito yung part na medyo nahihirapan i-explain ng mga dermatologists sa mga pasyente nila kasi marami talagang iba't ibang mga complex terms when it comes to dark spot formation or yung proseso. But after hearing it mga 1,000 times sa mga dermatologists na pinuntahan ko over the years, gumawa na ako ng simpler version for you to be able to understand. Parang layman's terms version to. But I do have to give credit where credit is due. Itong explanation na to or yung process na to is based on the book The Science of Beauty by Dr. Michelle Wong, PhD. It's actually that book sa likod ko, yung makita ninyong orange and blue. So meron siyang full explanation sa book na yun that kind of inspired itong explanation na to. So let's start with stage 1 of the dark spot formation process. So yung stage 1 is called pigment production. So meaning, ginagawa na, pinoproduce na yung pigment sa skin natin. Pero paano ba siya nagsisimula? So okay, let's say nangyari na yung cause ng dark spots mo. So for example, namaga or nagka-inflammation na yung skin mo or na damage na siya from sun exposure and so on. So, ang mangyayari sa skin, imagine mo, mag-defense mode na siya. And imagine nyo, yung pangalan ng tatawagan niya is tyrosinase. O, diba? Imagine, may papangalanan kayong anak, tyrosinase. Pinahirapan nyo ang buhay niya. Charot. Na hindi nyo naman to kailangan i-memorize, pero just for this video, alalahanin nyo muna si tyrosinase. So, si tyrosinase, basically, enzyme siya na nakatira deep in our skin and basically, siya ang nagsisignal sa skin natin na, okay guys, may masamang nangyayari, magsimula na tayo to make dark pigment to protect the skin of kung sino man yung may-ari ng balat natin. So, yung tagagawa ng dark pigment sa skin natin called the melanocytes, so gagawa na sila ng pigment kasi sabi ni Boss Tyrosinase, gumawa na raw. But take note, production pa lang to. So, hindi pa natin siya nakikita sa skin. This is all happening under. And then, pagtapos na yung paggawa ng dark pigment, dun na pumapasok yung next stage natin, which is stage 2, pigment transfer. So, pigment transfer, imagine nyo na lang, parang ready na siya sa Shenzhen Sorting Center. Tapos, ipapadala niya na sa Pilipinas. Parang ganon. O, diba? Yung dark spot natin naging parcel. O, pero para mas magets nyo. But actually, very straightforward lang yung stage na to. So, yung ginawang pigment sa may deeper part ng skin, paaakyatin lang to the upper or outer layers ng skin natin para pumunta siya dun sa top layer and para ma-protect niya yung skin natin. Kasi again, this is our skin's attempt or our body's attempt at protecting us. And then basically, ayun na siya. Kapag nasa taas na siya, we go on to stage 3, which is pigment accumulation. Basically, i-receive na ni buyer ang parcel. At ang parcel ay ang dark spots. Ayoko na lang pala i-receive. So during the stage na umakyat na siya sa upper layers ng skin, doon mo na siya makikita and depending on the area na affected, doon din siya kakalat in an effort to, again, protect you. And that's the time when you see dark marks on your skin. So either yung pimple mo dati, magiging dark spot, yung sugat mo dati, magiging darker na yung color, or yung part ng katawan mo kung saan ka na sunburn, doon na siya iitim. And usually, this is the last stage already. But remember, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung sun exposure mo or baka tuloy-tuloy pa din yung inflammation na nangyayari sa skin mo. So habang may part na ng skin mo na naka-reach ng stage 3, dahil exposed ka pa rin doon sa mga main causes which are inflammation and sun exposure, pwedeng sabay pa rin sila nangyayari. So again, think of it as meron ka nang na-receive na parcel pero ang dami mo pang iba't ibang ino-order. O diba? Ang daming nakarelate, diba? Atake. But basically, this is all to say, pwedeng mangyari na habang may dark spot ka na, yung skin mo gumagawa pa ng more pigment. So in the end, pwedeng ang mangyari is mag-darken palalo yung dark spot mo. So the reason why you need to understand this is simply because different dark spot ingredients work on different stages ng dark spot formation. May ibang nag-work sa stage 1 lang or sa stage 2 lang or sa stage 3 lang and so on. And yung iba't ibang mga ingredients na alam natin like kojic, niacinamide, iba't ibang stages yung tina-target lang nila alone. And ito pa yung mahirap na part. There's virtually no way that us regular people can determine kung anong stage ng dark spot formation na yung nangyayari sa skin natin. Siguro ang pinaka-obvious na is stage 3 kasi nasa skin mo na nakikita mo na. Pero hindi natin alam kung ginagawa pa ng skin natin yung more dark pigment para maging darker siya. And this is basically yung reason kung saan nanggagaling yung advice ng dermatologists na when using a brightening or dark spot serum, hindi lang dapat isang dark spot ingredient ang naandon but multiple ingredients working together. Simply because we want to target multiple stages of dark spot formation para mas sure tayo na maa-address natin sila. So naturally, ang next na tanong na natin is, well, yung mga common ingredients na nakikita natin like niacinamide, kojic, vitamin C, azelaic, which stages yung tina-target nila? So that's what we'll cover next. So let's start with ingredients that work at stage 1, which is yung pigment production. So yung ingredients in this category are what we call tyrosinase inhibitors. So remember kanina yung character natin, si tyrosinase na emergency contact ng skin natin kapag nadadamage siya. Yung mga tyrosinase inhibitors, keyword inhibitors, root word inhibit meaning stop. So sinasabi nila kay tyrosinase, stop the car. Sabi nila, kalmahan mo lang, wag kang OA. Stop overproducing pigment. So yung mga ingredients na tyrosinase inhibitors, dito na pumapasok yung mga kojic acid, arbutin, azelaic acid. You also have resorcinol. Baka nakita nyo na sa mga products ng Pond's, yung niasorcinol, that's niacinamide and resorcinol. Yung niacinamide, mamaya pa siya, but resorcinol is part of this category. We also have vitamin C, and even the ingredient thiamidol, which you might have seen in Nivea products. That's actually a specific type of resorcinol. And actually, speaking of brands, even yung mga ingredients like Sim White na makikita mo in different brands like Garnier, Dr. Leo, is actually also a type of resorcinol and it belongs in this category. And also, technically, yung ingredient ni L'Oreal na Melasil, which is basically a patented ingredient, medyo ibang way siya nag-work compared to our other ingredients here, but still around this stage siya nag-work. So now move na tayo to stage 2. And dito guys, guys, kung stage 1, di ba, ang dami mong pwedeng pagpilian. Sa stage 2, sobrang konti lang ang nakakapag-stop ng pigment transfer. Konti lang ang nakakapagtigil sa Shenzhen Sorting Center. Char, itigil na natin yung joke na yun. Pero guys, dalawa lang sila. It's niacinamide and soy extract. And commonly, mas pinipili ng brands ang niacinamide kasi more accessible and reliable siya compared to soy extract. Kasi yung soy extract, basically, hindi sila made equal. Kasi diba, for example, kapag bumili ka ng soy milk, may soy extract din naman yun eh. Pero hindi mo siya magagamit sa skin mo, diba? And yung soy extract kasi, meron siyang specific compound na nakakatulong specifically with dark spots. But when soy is extracted from kung saan mo man siya in-extract, hindi mo pa alam or mahirap alamin from the get-go kung gaano karami nung compound na yun na nakakalighten ng dark spots natin yung meron doon sa soy extract na yun. So parang need mo pa siya hanapin or sukatin in a way. And of course, yung mga brands, lalapit lang sila sa formulators nila. Hi, I want 2 to 5% niacinamide in my formulation. Okay, go. Meron na agad. Kaya nga diba, ang dami-dami ng iba't ibang mga niacinamide products in our market and ang dali pa nilang i-declare sa label nila na it's 2, 3, 4, 5%, minsan nga 10% pa. And also, baka manotice ninyo, favorite talaga gamitin ng mga brands ang niacinamide because less sakit siya sa ulo i-formulate in general. Pwede siyang isabay with a lot of other ingredients. Usually, wala naman masyadong bawal isabay with niacinamide. Even vitamin C, nahanapan na ng paraan para pwede silang isabay sa isang formulation. And of course, dagdag mo pa dito, niacinamide has a lot of other benefits apart from nakakatulong from dark spots. Nakatulong din siya sa barrier, signs of aging, pero that's another topic for another time. But also, this is why may kita mo yung ibang mga serums in the market. It's always niacinamide and blank. Niacinamide and arbutin, niacinamide and vitamin C, niacinamide and kojic. Meron pa nga si Koji-san ata yung gumawa nun. Laging merong niacinamide most of the time because this is only one of the few ingredients that can work on this stage. So now let's move to stage 3, which is yung pigment accumulation naman. So at this stage, nasa topmost layer na siya ng skin natin and one ingredient we know very well na nag-work doon is none other than AHAs or alpha hydroxy acids. So ang AHAs sa mga beginners pa lang sa skincare, they're chemical exfoliants that help na mag-shed or magpalit yung top layer ng skin natin, helping to fade the mark. Kasi nga 'di ba, naando na siya sa top layer ng skin natin. So it's just a matter of shedding or turning it over. So ang AHAs or alpha hydroxy acids, these are ingredients like glycolic acid, lactic acid, or mandelic acid. If you're looking for the gold standard, it's usually glycolic, and this is usually why sa mga brightening routines, maririnig mo rin talaga a lot yung glycolic acid. Pero since siya yung parang pinaka-potent talaga, siya rin yung usually parang may konting stinging sensation, or siguro siya yung parang may higher potential to be irritating on your skin. Kaya nila inimbento or na-discover yung lactic and mandelic acid because those are more gentle on your skin or less likely to irritate your skin rather. But apart from our AHA exfoliants, retinoids, mga retinol, retinal, tretinoin, adapalene, all of these ingredients are under the umbrella term retinoids. And nakakatulong din sila. They also help because may influence sila sa pagpalit ng skin natin, but more of indirect yung tulong nila. So, not the same way as AHAs. But basically, this just means kung gumagamit ka ng retinol or prescription retinoids like tretinoin or adapalene, especially for your acne, wag mong isa-stop. Just because you're going to fade your dark spots, it doesn't mean you're going to stop your acne medications kasi yun yung actually biggest no-no siya. Kasi nga, di ba, minention ko sa inyo kanina, ang sabi ng mga dermatologists, the best way to solve your dark spot issue is to stop the cause. So, kahit wala ka ng acne, pag tinanggal mo yung acne medications mo, di ba balik siya, di ba? So, nag-fade nga yung dark spot mo dati, pwede ka naman mag-breakout sa ibang part ng skin mo. Di pa ulit-ulit lang tayo. So, remember, yung mga acne medications natin like tretinoin or adapalene or even when you're using over-the-counter like retinol or retinal for the signs of aging, hindi mo sila kailangan i-stop kasi helpful din sila and may supporting role din sila in terms of fading your dark spots, and more often than not, actually nakakapag-work together nga sila with these dark spot lightening ingredients. Retinol and niacinamide, magandang combination yon. Retinol and alpha-arbutin, pwede mo siyang gamitin together. Yung nga lang, yung retinol and yung glycolic acid, kailangan medyo separate routines sila. For example, nighttime yung retinol and then daytime yung glycolic acid, or yung retinol is MWF, tapos yung glycolic is TTHS. Now also, another helpful thing in this category, technically hindi siya ingredient but it's actually a procedure. If you're looking specifically into lasers, dito sa stage 3 din siya nag-work. Sa mga lasers, binibreakdown nila yung pigment na nasa taas na ng skin natin. And actually, this is why ginagamit rin siya for tattoos kasi yung dark pigment, diba, binibreakdown niya and yung pigment na yun ng tattoos natin are on just the top layer of our skin. So that means, kahit nagpapa-laser ka, especially for your dark spots, you still need to target the other stages with specific skincare ingredients. And also, this is the reason kung bakit pinapa-sunscreen ka pa rin ng derma mo after a laser procedure. And also, aside from the fact na after mo magpa-laser, medyo sensitive to the sun talaga yung skin mo. So basically, that's a lot of the most commonly used ingredients when it comes to dark spots. But of course, hindi natin pwedeng pag-usapan ang dark spots or hyperpigmentation without talking about this very controversial ingredient. Of course, I am talking about hydroquinone. So yung hydroquinone, this is an ingredient that can be found in sa mga drugstores nga lang, Maxipil, GT, RDL, and even sa ibang mga Rejuve sets. And actually, ang hydroquinone, ginagamit talaga siya for dark spot treatment. In fact, sa Korea pa nga, pag pumunta ka sa pharmacy nila, meron pa silang tinatawag na melatonin cream that has like a standard percentage of hydroquinone. But the question is, bakit siya controversial and bakit hindi siya agad-agad nire-recommend ng mga dermatologists even if we see all these data or evidence na effective siya? Well, kasi ang hydroquinone, you have to be very, very, very careful with it. Kasi kapag hindi ka maingat sa paggamit nito, ginamit mo siya the wrong way, there are actually side effects na pwedeng mangyari na irreversible na. Yes, irreversible, meaning malabo nang maibalik mo. Actually, yung meaning nga ng irreversible, hindi mo na mababalik eh. So, ganun siya katindi talaga. And for you to get a better context, hanapin nyo yung term na ochronosis kahit sa Google lang. So, yung ochronosis, pwede kang magka-permanent na black or parang blue patches sa skin mo. And that's coming from the misuse, meaning maling paggamit ng hydroquinone. So, this is why very maingat and very conservative yung mga dermatologists with this ingredient because they want to give you the best treatment, yes, but also they don't want you to permanently damage your skin. Lalo pa ngayon na may mga tao na nagsasabi, di ba, parang, ay, yung mga dermatologists, pera-pera lang naman yan, ganyan. Tapos pipilitin nyo sila magbigay ng hydroquinone sa'yo. Tapos pag may nangyayari, sila rin yung ibe-blame mo, di ba? So kaya talaga nag-iingat ang mga dermatologists because they want to give you a balanced but still effective treatment. And in fact, actually, hindi naman ina-avoid ng dermatologists yung ingredient na to. Hindi nila binaban or anything. Ang gusto lang naman nila mangyari is, kung gagamit ka ng hydroquinone, okay, great, but be supervised by a dermatologist or makapag-consult ka man lang ng isang beses with them bago mo siya gamitin. So that you know how to properly use this product and kung meron mang mangyari, pwede mo nang itanong in advance to the dermatologist. Kunyari, kung may nangyaring ganito, pwede ko ba siyang i-stop or tuwing kailan ko siyang isa-stop or kung anumang mga questions. And then, sasagutin ka naman nila and you only have to do that a few times or sometimes even once. So clear tayo hindi masama ang hydroquinone. Ang masama is the unsupervised misuse of it. And lalo na kasi mga formulations of hydroquinone na mahanap mo sa Pilipinas. Kasi dito, hindi lang hydroquinone cream yung mahanap mo eh. Usually nga, mahihirapan ka pang maghanap ng hydroquinone cream dito sa Pilipinas. Ang makikita mong formulation is usually hydroquinone and tretinoin. And again, ang tretinoin, yes, it is a gold standard acne medication, but kapag kinumbine mo siya with hydroquinone and mali pa yung paggamit mo sa kanya, ginagamit mo siya araw-araw, nagbibilad ka pa under the sun, di ka nagsa-sunscreen or kapiranggot na sunscreen lang yung ginagamit mo, ang lakas ng risk for irritation and inflammation sa skin mo kung hindi ka maingat. Kaya nga sobrang sumikat sa culture natin, di ba, yung parang tosino yung mukha after nilang gumamit ng Rejuve. That is inflammation. And that comes from irritation of your skin from not using your Rejuve sets properly. And again, take note sa minention ko kanina, di ba, ang inflammation, dahil na-inflame yung skin mo, edi mangingitim na siya after. So, di ba parang ang ironic na gumamit ka nga ng product para i-brighten or i-lighten yung skin mo, pero hindi mo siya ginamit ng mabuti, kaya na-inflame yung skin mo, and then, for that reason, mangingitim pa siya. So, back to step 1 ka na, lumala pa. All because mali yung paggamit mo ng product. And actually, yung phenomenon na to, yung in-explain ko sa inyo, may tawag dito ang dermatologists, and that is rebound hyperpigmentation.
When you use lightening products and if you don't wear sunscreen or if talaga nagpabilad ka sa araw ng tanghaling tapat, pwede kasing may tinatawag na rebound hyperpigmentation. So, rebound hyperpigmentation is basically when your skin encounters trauma, pwede in the form of irritation, yun na nga, sa cosmetics, pwede rin in the form of heat. Sa laser, your skin produces more melanin as a form of protection. So, minsan nagtataka yung patients, parang instead na pumuti, bakit lalong nangitim?
Kasi na-irritate.
Yeah, irritate or sometimes, like for example, laser whitening services.
Yes.
Sobrang init, the heat actually can also trigger rebound hyperpigmentation.
I see.
And now na alam mo na yung risks of certain ingredients, alam mo na rin yung stages, actually, yun na siya. These are all the key things you need to know about dark spots on your skin. Very much an empowered and informed consumer when it comes to dark spots or, as we've learned in this video, hyperpigmentation. Ito na ang diploma mo, BS, hyperpigmentation. Char! But given this information and knowledge that you have now, I'm sure marami na sa inyo magtatanong next, paano ko siya i-apply sa pag-choose ng dark spot serum or in making a skincare routine targeting dark spots. So as per usual, don't worry, ako na ang nag-research para sa inyo and nagawan ko na sila ng content in my other videos. So I'll put here a video of my favorite dark spot serums for different budget levels. Whether 1K, 500 plus, or under 500 yung budget mo, meron akong option doon. That was from a year or two ago, pero yun pa rin yung mga current favorites ko. And for those na beginner talaga and want an entire routine for dark spots that you can easily get sa Watsons, I will put that video here. So check nyo na lang sila. Friendly reminder to always make informed skincare decisions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!